You know, a lot of times, cats will come up to me and be like, hey, dawg, what's all this young and unashamed stuff? Like, can't we just wait till we older and serve the Lord? And why you doing all this? I know it ain't the norm, man, so I know cats don't understand, so I just want to help cats understand why I'm young and unashamed. Yeah.
What's up? This is Rashawn.
And I'm June.
And today we want to talk about young and serving the Lord. Is it possible? Is it born? You know, all the opinions that people have. First, we want to pose this question. What age was you when you started, like when you gave your heart to God? How old were you?
Oh, when I truly gave my heart to God? I was 15 years old.
15 years old. So how was it?
And I backslid, as the old church would say.
But you backslid.
Yeah, but I was like really cool.
So at 15 you gave your heart to God. So what did you feel like? Did you feel different or did you feel like
very
strange?
Very much because, well, first of all, like, you know how when you're young and first know about Jesus, you just want to tell everybody. So I was like one of those radical in school, like telling everybody about Jesus. Like, I found Jesus, you can have him too, you know, and just really, you know, trying to get the word out in school. So a lot of people was like they knew who I was. Oh, that's that Jesus girl, or that's that churchy girl and stuff. But one thing that was hard back then was because they knew who I was and I told it, they expected more from me. So it was like, oh man, like I really couldn't mess up, or because then they'd be like, oh, and you a Christian, you know, and look at you. So that really made me like make my standards up here.
Yeah.
Because up here, you can't see my head up there. Because like when you say you're a Christian, then that comes on with a lot of stuff. Like you can't do what the world do. So that really made me like more what I'm trying to say, cautious about what I did before I did it and stuff.
Well, with me, I was 18 years old when I gave my heart to Christ. Or like, I'm 19 right now, about to turn 20, man. I'm about to be a Christian for a year plus, so I think that happened. But you know, before I was 18, you know, I was a person who said that I was a Christian. You know, I went to church or whatever, man. You know, I was looking like the world, you know, having sex inside of marriage and, you know, doing everything that the world did, not knowing what, you know, being a true Christian was. But at 18, you know, my life totally changed, man. Like, it was like a 360. Is that right? Or was it 180?
It was a 360. No, wait. A 360.
It was 180, huh?
Yeah, because 360 is going back to where you started.
Nah, it was like a 180.
Yeah.
But that's when I started living, man. I started living for God. And so at 18, I started living for Christ. And then I noticed, you know, that now that, you know, God truly changed my heart, I started to look at things way different. And I started to look different too. Like I wasn't, like, you know, the same as everybody else was. And, you know, I'm talking about the world. I wasn't the same how I used to be or whatever. And so, you know, being a Christian at 19 or 18, you know, it wasn't, I mean, it's not hard, but, you know, majority of the young people, you know, they club, they have sex, you know, they do everything. Yeah, so it's like, I felt almost alone to a sense.
Oh yeah, me too.
So you felt alone too?
Yeah, like I wrote a poem called Our Teenage Christian's Instinct.
What made you turn like from like doing the worldly things and like to follow Christ?
15?
Yeah.
My grandma died and I prayed, and I like before she had cancer, and like right before she died, I like prayed and said like, God, don't take her, I promise I'll live right. But that was kind of, and she still died anyway, so that was kind of selfish of me to try to, you know, keep her here and try to use me being a Christian. And I don't know, and then like I think like maybe like 2 Sundays later or Fridays later I went to this youth thing at my grandma's church, and they were talking about basically about truly becoming a Christian and living for God and just going hard, you know what I mean? And it really, they were speaking to me, and like the stuff that I had did, they were talking about that, and it was like, man, and I felt so convicted, and I just really gave my life to Christ and just wanted to do it right. Cause I grew up in the church, but I was still acting a little foolish in school and stuff.
Do you think like being a Christian at 19 is hard?
Well, now it isn't. I mean, I love it. Like when I was back then, it was hard. But now, at age 19, I read my Bible. I pray like all the time. Like I'm just talk to God. Like I have a relationship with God. So
That's
it's
relationship
makes a difference, because you can be a Christian, but without relationship is nothing. So like now, it's not hard at all. As long as you have a relationship with God, it isn't hard.
It's not hard for me to be a Christian, and you know, at 19, even though it's temptation everywhere and everybody's like doing something completely different, but it's like I gotta do this for the people that truly want to be Christians. You know, I feel like I'm doing it. I feel like I'm doing this for you know, people out there. I'm doing it for myself, because you know I do want to be saved from God, from God's anger. So I'm doing it for me first, to be saved from God's anger. I do encourage you. You know, do not care what other people say. If they calling you all holy and righteous, good, because God wants you to be holy and righteous. And you know, just forget what people say, man.
Like the boy so young and unashamed.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed.